The family's all sitting around, and suddenly your observer's on. You're like, "Yep, there goes dad. He can't stop talking." And, "Oh, there goes my brother. He's just playing video games." Your observer notices from a distance without judging. Now that's the distinction. If you're
Yes.
judging and going, "Look at dad, he's an idiot. And look at mom, she's doing that stupid thing again. She's always cleaning. And look at my brother, he's such a loser." That's judgment. But the
Right.
perception, you looking at your family, that provides compassion. So all I do is teach people how to have compassion. Like
Wow.
one of my
That's
favorite
amazing.
lines that I wanted to name my book, You Don't Believe in Astrology. I was going to name it You're Up, But I Still Like You. But they wouldn't let me call it that. They got mad. But I'm telling you that every single person you know has some quirky quirk
Yeah.
that they're judging. And it's up to us to turn on the observer and go, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. The New York Reporter doesn't judge. They just report the data.
And I think it also works the opposite way, right? So, like,
If you're judging people, that is not the observer. The observer is neutral.
but if you can't get, do you think that you can turn that to the observer? Like, I feel like in the past, when I did that, I was able to say, oh no, they're just being them, right? And you can just let it go then.
That's right.
It's
That is
not,
the observer. That's the right use of the observer. It
yeah,
becomes a permission slip to let not that you let them off the hook. You can still have an opinion and say, that person, my mother is really miserable. That's a truth. That's a hard truth. It's
yeah,
different than saying, you idiot, you're so miserable. That's the judgment. But you can perceive things that are not okay. That's what's going to happen in the future. We're at the point in
yeah,
our political situation where people need to speak up and say, that is not okay. You
yeah,
cannot put, when ICE comes to town, no one's going to stand and act neutral anymore. Saturn's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, Jupiter's going to be in Leo, Pluto's in Aquarius. There's going to be so irresistible to say, are you kidding me? Whereas before we were all doing business as usual. Saturn was in Pisces. The last 2.5 years, we were like, la, 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 like pretending. Well, there's no
right.
more.
That is so powerful.
So that grand trine in water she's talking about, there's 3 planets that are all 120 degrees apart. So literally it looks like a triangle. And then there's a third planet or fourth planet that makes it look like a kite. So all that says is you've got a very, very strong intuition and that you get a feeling like that's probably how you joined the school. It was probably pure intuition, was it?
Absolutely. I have quit six-figure jobs because of my intuition. I flew to Okinawa blindly because of my intuition, and that's where I found out I came from a priestess lineage. I have met my husband through intuition. I lived my whole life that way. And I've learned that when I don't do that, the signs just get more and more, right? You can't sleep. So I just acquiesce and say, okay, I'm going. And
Good
it
for
always
you.
works out perfectly.
I love that story. Well, that's the grand trine in water, and that's the kite. There's a support. A kite just simply means locomotive. Like you've got the water and the earth to support it. So you write books, and so you go to Europe, you go to Italy, and people that think about it, you do it. Your
Oh,
energetics
yeah.
are like, let's go. So that's a real gift, and that's an inheritance. That means that in past lives, you really learned the art of listening to spirit. That's what water does. Water's quiet and it listens through its dreams, through its feelings, through it's the signs, through its intuition, and you're doing it. And so that's an inheritance. You've done that summer before. But now we just need to finish up. Your chart is very clearly embodied by the example of everything we've talked about today. It's so obvious you've got a grand triangle water and that you're double air. These are the simple things of astrology, you guys. That configuration, a grand trine, is very unusual. Hardly ever see it. And it's a strong, strong suggestion of, oh, this is an intuitive woman who's using her instinct to let spirit talk through her. It's very powerful.
Anything else? Any other wisdom that you can impart on the world right now? Because you have a way of speaking to the collective, and it's so
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, that I do that. It is my promise this life to be a vehicle to allow words to heal and soothe and insightfully pray with people. I would just say that this elemental wisdom, if I could give people an instruction, like say, listen,
Yes.
here's the shortcut to how you're going to manage through this unbelievably uncomfortable era that's about to happen the next 2 to 5 years. Ground every day in the earth. Take off your shoes. Make sure you're eating healthy food. Make sure your house is clean. If you're a mess, it's a symbol. Take responsibility for the details. Go back and finish what you didn't finish.